So burn down chart is down at the sprint level. So generally, let's say if we have 20 user stories in the sprint, what it's going to do, oh, this one says 28, so we'll just use 28 as an example, right? And this is the days that we have, right? So we have 20 days and we have 28 user stories. It's just going to make a line down straight. So it's going to divide 28 by 20 and identify how much work needs to be done for us to be on track. So as developers or as team members are marking things down, right, like as completed, the burn down chart will try to track the progress for the team. So if we are not doing as much as we were supposed to, then we're behind schedule. But if the team is able to close down the number of user stories / story points, then we are actually ahead of schedule. So this is a tool that Scrum Masters use just to gauge how's the team doing. Are we underperforming? Are we overperforming? What do we need to do to make sure that we're trying to complete the user stories that we've committed into the sprint? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Team velocity is done at the product level. So think about team velocity as the speed in which our team can perform. And generally we figure out velocity to figure out how much work the team can take on. So let's say we go into sprint planning and we assign estimated story points. And based on the number of story points we're identifying, we know that, or I as a Scrum Master know, based on previous sprints, that our team can only handle 28 user stories, or let's say 35 user stories. I'm just totally making this up. And so in sprint planning, when we're adding things to the sprint backlog, the Scrum Master in their mind or in their head needs to make sure that we're around that 35 number. Because that's based on past sprints, we know that we could do about that much work. So adding like 45 story points to the sprint will mean that we're pushing our team way too much work than us as a team can handle. Or if we're putting in 20 story points, the Scrum Master is going to try to put in a few more user stories because we know the average work that we can handle is about 35. Right? Does that make sense? So if it's a new Scrum team, you're not going to know team velocity because everybody is new. The project may be new. So generally you have an idea after 2 to 3 sprints what your team velocity is. And
Sarabjit, I have a question. Is there like a baseline if we don't have, like if we come in as a new Scrum Master, is there like a baseline that we could use as our capacity for a developer? And I'm asking because I had one given to me from my current vendor.
We can. So if your vendor is given that to you, that means that they have experience with the developers and what type of things they can handle. So if one isn't given to you, is a brand new team that's coming together, we could kind of work with developers and say,